gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen again today, and today I'm going to be making some elderberry gin. Now, I went out to the woods and I went back to one of those elderberry trees that we visited earlier in the summer, and I think I collected probably the last of the elderberries for the season. And of course, these are those really beautiful wild blue elderberries. And I think we just have just the right amount to make a small batch of elderberry gin. Now, I've seen different variations on this recipe. Some people take the fresh elderberries and they put them right into the gin and let them soak for a month. Some people add sugar. Some people actually take the elderberries and add the sugar and warm it up gently until the elderberries kind of burst a little bit. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I want to really get a lot of that flavor out, and I want the sugar to dissolve into the elderberry juice. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So first thing we need to do is to get our elderberries all cleaned up. Of course, this is always the most time-consuming part of this, but we're just going to gently pull the berries off of these stems. I've mentioned before that you can use a fork to kind of fork the berries off, but I found that it's a lot easier and I get a lot less stems in there if I just do it by hand. Also, the green berries, they kind of attached a little bit more firmly to the branches here. If I use my hands and I just gently pull the berries, the green ones stay on and the ripe ones fall off. Now, if you haven't seen it, I do have a video where we collected a bunch more of these blue elderberries and we made some elderberry honey, some elderberry syrup, and you can scroll back and you can find that. Okay, just need to get that's these little sticks. So now we washed our elderberries and we're going to put them into our little saucepan. Looks like we ended up with about a cup of these elderberries. Yeah, it looks like we have about a cup, maybe a cup and a half of the elderberries that we've washed, and I have about a half a cup of sugar. And then we're going to take this to the stove. So we're just going to gently warm these up. We're going to dissolve the sugar. We're going to let these cook until the berries just kind of lightly burst. But I'm also going to add to this some lime zest. I'm going to put maybe a couple, maybe 3 pieces of lime zest into there. Now I just want to kind of gently crush the berries just a little bit while I'm doing this. And all right, now you can see our elderberries are just kind of starting to bubble a little bit, and I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my heat, and I just wanted to kind of lightly crush and heat these elderberries. I wanted to dissolve the sugar, and then I wanted to kind of get the essence of that lime into the elderberries. Okay. Now we're going to let this cool down, and then we're going to add it to our jar with our gin. Okay, so I have my elderberries, which I kind of cooked in a little bit of sugar with our lime peel, and I'm going to put that, I actually cooled it down really well. It's about room temperature right now, and I'm going to add it to my jar. All right, so there is our elderberry syrup, which we made with a little bit of lime. And I'm going to be adding to this some Tanqueray gin. Now, most of the time when you're making an infused vodka or gin or something like this, you'd use a cheap gin. But my ultimate goal in this is to make a really delicious elderberry gin and tonic in a month. So I'm going to use my favorite, which I'm going to use some Tanqueray. So. Wow, that smells great already. That smell of juniper berry and the mixing with that sweet sugar and the elderberry. Oh man. All right. Wow, look at that color already. I'm already starting our infusion right away, which is exactly why I wanted to warm up those elderberries and melt the sugar before we did it. We're already looking really beautiful here. Now that was about a cup to a cup and a half of the blue elderberries. It was a half a cup of sugar, and then one of these small 750 ml bottles of gin of your choice. All right, so now we're just going to let this sit for about a month, and every day I'm going to give it a little shake, and it should be even more of a beautiful color as the days go by. So anyway, we will see you in a month. All right, well, it's been almost a month since we put our elderberries into our gin. This is the middle of October. Let's see, we did this on September 21st. This is the middle of October, so we're just a few days actually away from being a full month. But I wanted to really, I was getting excited. I really want to try my elderberry gin. But you can see the really beautiful color that's taken on. It's really taken on a really dark, rich purple color. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to strain this out, get the berries out of the gin. I'm going to put it into, this is an old vodka bottle, but I have these bottles around a lot because I like to do a lot of infused alcohols and vinegars and oils and things like that, so I always save these bottles. But like I said, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this out, and then we're going to make a elderberry gin and tonic, which I'm super excited. Gin and tonic is actually my favorite cocktail. It's simple and it's really refreshing, so I think it's really going to be nice with the addition of the elderberry. So let's try this out. I'll do this a little bit at a time. Wow, that really smells nice. You can really smell the gin, really smell that that juniper berry. We also added lime peel and the elderberries and sugar to our gin a month ago. And can really, not only do I smell the juniper from the gin, I really smell the fruitiness from the berries, and I can definitely smell that lime zest. Look at that. That works out perfect. Actually, I have a nice full bottle, and then I have enough to make my cocktail right here. All right, there we go. Look at that color. That is amazing. I just put the same label on here that I had on my larger container, but I think I want to decorate this a little bit more. So I'm going to add one of my Arlo and I stickers, which you can buy in my store if you want one of these. That'll be perfect decoration for this. There we go. There it is, my Arlo and I Elderberry Gin. The color is really beautiful. And now the moment I've been waiting for. It's been almost a month in the making. We're going to make our elderberry gin and tonic. So I have a nice glass with some ice. I have our elderberry gin. Let's put that in there. That's going to be a strong drink, but hey. And then I'm going to be using some of this Fever Tree tonic water. This one's really good. I like this. Okay. And then some lime, of course. Okay, our foraged elderberry gin. Oh. That smells so good, so refreshing. Amazing. The elderberry comes through really, really well. Really fruity, almost like a Shirley Temple. But an adult Shirley Temple, of course. Shirley Temple as an adult. You can really taste and smell that gin coming through too, with all the botanicals and the juniper berries. So it's like a really nice combination of sweet, because we did add sugar to this. So it is like sweet and fruity, as well as the kind of like drying kind of the botanical element from the gin and the juniper. Good. Wow, you hear the woodpeckers outside? They're going crazy. Well, let's see what they're doing. They're trying to chase away a squirrel from the bird feeder. It's so pretty to look at. Look at that. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and I'm going to finish my cocktail here, and I'm going to watch the birds in the backyard. I'm going to watch the woodpeckers and the squirrels battle it out. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot. And we will see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.